listening to Dirty Change Podcast with Rosie and Tommy and our special guest today, Sally Mullins.
Hi.
Hi, Sally.
Hi, Tommy.
Hey.
Hey! Sally is a very talented comedian slash actress slash porn actress slash MILF extraordinaire, but with no kids.
Yeah, not a real mom. I mean, that's cool, though.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
You have the best of all the
You play a MILF. You play a MILF. And you also have a really... So I want to talk about Sally's project. It's not around anymore, but it's a really cool project. Tommy, I don't think you're... Are you familiar with her? Are you familiar with her at all?
We follow each other. You've been always very nice to follow me, Tommy, on shit. I followed you. He was nice enough to follow me back.
Okay, so she had this really cool project called Hello Cougar, where she would find young
amazing.
boys on Craigslist.
18 and up.
Let's just make that clear.
who had cougar fetishes, and she would de-cougar flower them, right?
Yes.
Deflower
Yes.
and film it.
Not the actual sex, but the interviews, which were hilarious.
She would interview them. It's online. Mm-hmm. And the guys would consent to it because they just wanted to have sex with the cougar. And they were not porn actors. They were regular Craigslist guys.
You brave woman.
This is like
They were the ones
social
scared.
experiment, right?
Damn. I want to hear about this.
Yes.
It was so sick. Yeah, it was before Craigslist Personals came down, so we're talking 2015, 2016.
I know. Casual Encounters is gone. Boo.
Yeah. We miss it. They can't take away the memories, though.
So how did you come up with the idea for something so outrageous?
Well, a little backstory on it. Somebody who Tommy might know, my best friend, Paris Kennedy.
Yes.
Yep. And I know you guys worked on a really funny thing for BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed.
I think.
I love you. Tommy, can you angle out?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, he hears that. He hears that a lot.
What? Of course.
Okay, sorry, Sally.
Well, we had a show. Oh, no problem. We had a show in there called Kitten to Cougar, and it was a Saturday night show at Drone Box, and that was in Boyle Heights. It was like a TV studio in Boyle Heights, as you remember. And then Paris was like, I want to have a regular fucking life, and she got the hell out of the industry, and she's doing great. But I started my own show there, Hello Cougar, and the whole thing was like, I want to meet guys, hook up with them off Craigslist, interview them before and after the hookup. It'll be funny. It wasn't mean-spirited, but it was really funny.
It wasn't mean-spirited, but some of the guys did have a little bit of a dumb look on their face during the interview.
It was hilarious. Some guys lied about their age, like they were really 36. Like it was supposed to be for 18 to 35, and then those guys, but mainly they were honest.
Okay, you should have done 18 to 29. 35 is a little old for younger boys.
It was, yeah, it did, especially since some were 38 and
I want young, nice and young.
I think it was 18 to 30. Good. Now that I think about it.
So wait, guys lie about their age too?
All the time. Yes. All the freaking time. Like on Tinder and stuff, they do. My Tinder dating profile is 35 to 42. That's the age of guys I look for, because I figure the 42-year-olds are lying. They're really 46, 47, and that's okay. As long as they're younger than me.
I love this reverse sexism. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I like younger guys. I don't.
Sorry, Tommy.
Like guys my own age. You're younger than me for sure. You're baby.
I like it because I feel like there's so much sexism the other way, where older guys are like, oh, I want young girls.
Yeah.
And so the fact that Sally is so openly discriminating against people.
I just want to get people, because guys my age don't want me. They want younger girls. So I was like, what am I going to do? And oh, wow, it turns out this is a good fit.
So do a lot of men have an older woman cougar fetish, more than you would think?
I would say yes. Just heard about... I did a custom today, and they were showing me about a request that somebody sent, and they're like, we're not going to do this, but you have to read this.
Yeah, we get those.
Yeah. So, and basically, it was a guy, and again, this could be him just bullshitting, and this is his fantasy, but he wrote this long message saying how...
Is it another $50,000 wire for boots?
I wish.
Hell yeah.
I didn't get my boots
have
yet.
to watch another episode. Watch all the episodes. Okay.
So basically, this guy was saying that his mom passed away, and he really wished that somebody was playing his
I think
mom.
I've heard from this guy. Go on, Tommy. I'm sorry.
No.
Did you play his mom? Okay.
So basically, he was requesting to somebody play his mom and tell him everything's gonna be okay. Reincarnated as someone else, but then also sexually satisfy him. And they're like, we go places, but we don't want to go there. So they're
like
like,
ghost
we're not
sex,
doing it.
like incestual ghost sex.
Yeah, like I want my mom who passed away to have sex with me and tell me everything's gonna be all right.
Oh, I would do that. Pass that on to me.
I will get your info.
I don't think it was that simple when he sent it to me. I think it was, just too not enough money. No, I think it was just too complicated and not enough money. So if you can get me pass it my way. Thank you.
Was your mom blonde?
I don't have to be blonde.
Okay, so I just wanted to say that my innocence has been destroyed doing this podcast. I officially saw your dick, Tommy. I know.
What happened? Was it Twitter?
It was Twitter. So somebody
that's everything.
tweeted a picture of Tommy's dick, and Tommy retweeted it. And because I follow him, I saw it. And so my Tommy pact of virginity, not looking at my friend naked, has been destroyed.
I just thought that seeing Tommy Pistol's dick was part of living in LA.
Wow. Do I?
That was the one who made me weirded out by that, because she's so sweet, and she was like doing her projects, and she's like, oh, do you want to see some of my projects? And I didn't think it would be weird because I love her so much. I was like, sure. And then she sent me something, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, I feel really weird. And
What
then,
was it like?
I think I was getting fucked. Yeah, it was like
all right.
yeah. It was a porn.
she was, and she was very good at it, and she looked great.
Not good at it.
However, I personally didn't think I would feel as weird about it because I knew you did it, and I knew it was you, and I love you, and I think I've seen you naked personally, but I don't know. It weirded me out. So I made a pact. I'm not going to look at my friends because I have a lot of friends in the industry. I'm not going to look at them. And then Tommy's dick was exposed to me.
Sorry.
That's okay.
It's a great dick. Everyone
you.
loves it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, scroll.
And it's just like, instead you're making it bigger.
Anyway, so the blinders have been off. I've seen your wiener.
You've seen our junk.
You've avoided it for long enough.
I avoided it for a very long amount of time, I think.
My Doc Johnson signature dildo finally came out.
Oh.
I've seen your dildo, and I was okay with the dildo.
Okay.
I was like, oh, Tommy's promoting his dildo. That's cool. And then I was like,
I want to see
Not
it.
a dildo.
Is it here? The dildo?
No, I had a joke I was going to bring in and be like, oh no, my dick fell out. And everyone would be like, what? I'd be like, my Doc Johnson dick.
Plug.
I don't have it with
Trixie, my dog, like runs up with the dick in her mouth.
Get back here.
No, girl, no.
I'm tempted to go to a museum and tape it to a wall and see if anyone...
Oh, like the banana?
Yeah.
Oh, you should.
Do you know about the banana? There was like a banana that sold for $100,000.
What? Just a normal banana?
It was a art piece.
Yeah, until somebody took it off the wall and ate it. And they were like, it's art. What do you... It's like, this is part of the art.
Yeah.
And it was like, my brain can't comprehend this.
I feel like your wee
Ding dong.
taped to a wall. I'm such a school teacher. Your wiener taped to a wall would be worth $100,000.
I wish. And if I could get any of that, that would be amazing.
And where are Tommy's boots? Where are they?
Somebody was going to get you some boots?
A fan, and they
cool.
never did.
Yeah. There's a guy who goes around who acts male porn stars for pictures and videos, and he'll send them cowboy boots.
I have heard about this guy, too.
And Tommy never got his boots. He was the only one.
I feel like everybody else got boots, and I'm like in the room standing with guys. I'm like, where are my fucking boots? I have videos and clips and everything.
Oh my
I will
gosh.
send him as much as he wants. I like cowboy boots.
I wonder if he passed away. I wonder if the guy passed away or something, you know?
You're very sweet. Maybe he just wanted to fuck with
Maybe
Tom.
he's dead.
Maybe he's dead. That's why he didn't say
Oh yeah, that's why I didn't get him, because he's dead.
You should try to contest his estate or something.
Here's the
Knock,
email.
knock.
Where are my boots?
I left some boots here.
I love some boots.
Can I get them back?
like that
7 and a half.
California
I love
probate.
some boots. Yeah, it takes forever. It's a good story.
How did you get into
porn?
Yes, please.
Well,
I was like,
people are like, what? Well, you and I haven't worked together because I don't think you fuck grannies in porn.
I have.
Oh, you have?
Well, I mean,
cool.
I wouldn't call you
You're
granny.
still
I
a MILF. You're not a
no,
granny.
No, I got gilfed really fast. I do granny porn.
You're considered a granny?
Yes, that's how porn is because they want the moms as young as possible.
Are you 35?
You were so sweet. 51-year-old. Well, you can definitely be a granny at 51, but could you be a granny of an 18-year-old? That would be very hard to pull off.
That's weird.
But that's not how granny
anyway.
porn is. Like granny
Yeah.
porn, you're always explaining, like, you're not my real grandson. There's so much
I know
exposition.
he talks about
It's
that,
like Charles
right?
Dickens,
Because
you know?
you can't have sex with your grandson by law. It has to be a step grandson.
Yeah.
It's always
or
the
adopted.
step.
Yeah.
Or step parents and grandparents.
I think the oldest
That you've been with?
was 67.
That's good. That's
and
good.
I swear to God, I came on set and they were like, she's a little older, didn't really say. And I was like, whoa, she's like way
Hot.
older.
Oh, yeah.
And no,
hot.
I mean, it was,
Yeah.
the visual was a little like,
Yeah.
okay. She had dentures, and everything was cool. And then like, once we like lay down and got into it, she's like, please don't fuck me too hard because my hip.
Oh,
And-
that sounds like me.
And I swear,
I feel like that would be me. I feel like I would be, if that was me, I would be like, watch my back, watch, like
my knees hurt.
Oh, they'd be like, we're going to
feel like
fuck
that
you
would-
hard,
I feel
little
like
Asian
that would
girl.
be
Oh,
me.
no. Yeah.
Like I would be like, my sciatica, honey.
Rub it in.
They'd fuck you hard,
my leg.
Rosie.
I swear it was one of the funnest, best experiences.
Like she was like super cool.
She was cool.
She was cool, and we were just talking.
Was it for score or something?
Yeah, I think I actually we do know everyone. It was great. She was actually one of the first prostitutes in the first. I mean,
Like ever?
no.
I'm like, wait,
amazing. It's an old profession.
The happy hooker.
in Glendale, there was there was a part where the way she explained it, like in California, like one of the big first
red light district.
whorehouses and stuff
Oh,
like that,
cool.
and she was like, yeah, Texas,
Except Armenian.
Armenia, yeah, and she was great. It was an amazing
awesome.
experience. And I swear to God, sex with older women is amazing because they're more experienced. They know exactly
was
what
more
they
relaxed,
want.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we talked,
that's
and it,
pretty wild.
it wasn't this whole like, I'm going to show you what I could do because you have so much experience.
Let me show ya, honey.
I'm going to wow you.
Oh, yeah.
Smoking a cigar. Let me show you, kid.
Remember Prohibition? No, but it was amazing.
That's
and she was so
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I again, visually, when I walked in, I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then once all that was like, all right, I'm here to work, professional. She's obviously here to work, make money, both of us. Let's work together. And it was an amazing experience.
That sounds
That's
like a hot
awesome.
scene.
It was a hot scene.
I want to still be doing porn when I'm 67.
So, stop. You were asking her how she got into it.
Oh,
and then
yes.
we totally go off on a side tangent.
Okay.
Because that is the essence of Dirty Change podcast. We go off on side tangents and we slam the table.
So here's the deal. I was teaching Asian adults how to speak English in Monterey Park. Not how I met Rosie. But
I used to live in Monterey Park, actually,
I
which
love
is an
it.
Asian. Okay, for those
The
of you who are
best
not
Chinese food.
SoCal people, it's an Asian part of town.
yeah, it's a beautiful Asian part of town. It's near downtown LA-ish. And I was teaching there, and I was getting into stand-up comedy. I was 30 years old. I was very busy getting involved in stand-up comedy. I had to leave my job, so I applied for the school board, and they were going to give me ESL teaching adults in Winnetka in the West Valley. And then they said, we have a paperwork snag and we can't start you for 6 weeks. I got very curious. This was like 1998. I started looking in the back of the LA Weekly. I found a fetish dungeon called the Chateau in North Hollywood. And I went and worked there, and then I started making my own videos. First of all, spanking, and then I got into more hardcore. But I didn't get into like actually, boy-girl scenes until 2017 at the age of 49.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, it's time. I'm like, my parents don't give a shit anymore.
Your spanking videos, I had seen those. Those did not weird me out for some reason. I was like, ooh, Sally's spanking people.
Yeah. And getting spanked.
But you had a mistress name or a spanking name? I can't remember.
Claire Fonda.
Claire Fonda, yes.
Was it Claire Fonda?
Yeah.
That was her spanking name.
Paris Kennedy, we have this mutual friend, Paris Kennedy. Well, we were talking about her. I was her first shoot, me playing her mom, when she was 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. It's really cool.
I have to tell a really weird story about Sally, too. So a couple a-holes in the comedy industry found out that she was doing spanking videos. I was at a comedy show. This was like 10, 15 years ago. And one guy pulled it up on his laptop and was like showing it around. And he's like, look, Sally's a fucking whore. And nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
And he's still a dick.
You know why nobody cares? Because I'm old. Like, nobody ever cares that I do porn at the Comedy Store. I don't get sexually harassed by any guys there. They're like, cool, good for her, because I'm old. A young Asian girl, they're
Let
like,
her have what she wants.
Yeah.
Just stop.
Businesswoman. She's a businesswoman.
That's
it was funny,
awesome.
though. Like, the guy was, like, trying... I don't know. He obviously... Either Sally rejected him or he was just a dick or something. But he was, like, trying to, like... demean her or shame her, and he was like, first of all, this was back in the day, so we didn't have iPhones, so he had a fucking laptop. He brought his laptop.
How heavy was that?
It was a heavy laptop. He brought it to the open mic, and he was like carrying this laptop around. It's like it could have been an Apple Lisa. He was like carrying this thing around. He's like, look at her, she's a whore, and everyone's like, okay,
whatever.
This is what I'm going to do tonight, and I'm going to get my point across. And
I don't understand people like that. It's like, let people live their lives.
I tell people, once you do porn, like definitely for a certain amount of time, like shame goes away. You can't shame us. We're naked on camera. Like you see, like literally inside us, outside. Like you see everything with us. So anybody who wants to throw like shame at us, it's just like, you can't hurt me. Like, I'm sorry.
But also, nobody cared. Everyone was like, okay.
Yeah.
Everyone's always been cool about it in comedy. Like, sometimes guys get goofy. The main problem I always have to deal with is guys being like, I want to come on set and meet the hot chicks, or I want to meet your hot porn friends.
And you're like, get away from me.
Yeah, I'm like, they don't want you.
I hear I've been hearing more lately, a lot of like ex like child stars who are now grown up and still holding on to that, like, remember me when I was funny on Nickelodeon? Like, I have a lot of, like, I want to make
addict now.
Yeah, I want to make friends with porn stars, and I want to come on set just to see how it is.
It's not what you think, and we don't want you there.
Yeah, no.
Can we put you to work? Can you mop up the cum? What's up? What do you want?
Yeah, if you want to watch us, you can pay us.
Exactly. Why don't you produce a shoot? You want to be on a porn set, produce a shoot.
You want to make a friend do that.
Good idea.
Yeah.
To that guy.
Pay us.
Yeah, basically. So you started when you were 49.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pay Sally to spank me. Do you guys want to see that? Pay us.
Yeah. Let's try to go. Come spank me. Fun.
I'm getting old too. Spank me. Why not?
She's going to spanked for looking young forever by a white lady.
We talked about you tried the whole S&M thing. Sally, do you know about that?
A little bit.
Okay.
I did.
I do.
I was doing dominatrix work a little bit as a social experiment, and apparently I was very good at it.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I had no idea what I was doing.
And that made it more amazing.
Made it even better.
Well, that's cool that you kind of did it independently. A lot of girls walk into the dungeon setting and they're like, I hate men and I want to beat some ass. And the dungeon setting is always like not so fast. You have to train. You have to get your ass beaten first. You have to pay your dues as well as just learn the technicalities.
Yikes, I didn't pay any dues. I was a danger to myself and my subs.
Yeah,
Sorry, subs.
But you're not, I don't think you're like a heavy duty sadist or had a big axe to grind. I think you're more just curious, right?
I did. So but my story was that I had an ex that left my high school sweetheart who I thought I was going to marry. I was very innocent.
Thank God you didn't.
He left me for a professional dominatrix. So I wanted to see what it was all about. I put an ad on Craigslist, bought a whip at, what's that sex store in West Hollywood? Pleasure Chest. I bought a whip and a sexy outfit from Pleasure Chest, and I posted an ad on Craigslist. Thank God I never got murdered. And I easily, I guess, because I was a young 19-year-old Asian girl, got a bunch of clients.
Yeah.
And I was able to see what that was like, and I wasn't that into it. I was into the money.
Yeah.
But then I was like, this is kind of boring, and I'm too nice. I think I might be a sub. I was like scared. I was like, I feel bad.
Well, you're the pro dom who your ex ended up with. Like, she's probably a sub too. I feel like most pro doms are subs.
Yeah.
Because they understand the space, and that's how they can function professionally.
I felt really guilty. Like, I felt bad, actually. Even though the guy said I was... I was telling Tommy, one of the guys said I was the best dom he's ever had. But I literally just did what he said. He was like, beat me, step on my face, ride me like a horse. I literally just did exactly what he said. And I think because I'm an actress, I was like, method.
I am riding a horse.
I'm like, this is a horse. Okay. So I think that was very submissive because I literally was just taking direction.
Yeah.
They were just like, do this, do that. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, but you probably had a great look and just like a good personality and also just the theater skills.
Yeah, theater helps. I always told, I learned a lot of my doming experiences obviously through kink.com, and I started through them. And, the best advice I would give to people coming in is just like, anyone could hit hard. But it's not about who could hit the hardest, because if you do that, then the scene's over and they're injured and everything. So it's about
you don't injure people.
Yeah, it's about knowing your partner and the limit you could take it, and reading signs in their body, and like paying attention, and not just being in a space of like, I'm going to hurt this person, but we have safety words and everything. So there's a lot to it instead of just wielding a whip or just being mean. It is a back and forth, and I think I like also kind of humiliation play, like being spit at and choked and hair pulled and stuff like that. And by doing that, it gives me that experience of like what it is on the receiving end.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm a very sensitive person, so I definitely, like I said, I was paying attention to the person, what they wanted, and just doing what they asked me.
Yeah,
and being very
that's
in tune with it.
Part of it, just being in tune with the person. And everyone thinks the dom is like, I have the power, but it's the sub, because
that has all the power because you're telling them what their boundaries are.
Yeah, and they're the one taking it. So, and they could stop it at any moment. So
I did feel like the sub had all the power because I was just like I was like a puppet doing their bidding.
and then you felt bad after.
And then I felt bad.
No, he used me.
I feel bad. The craziest I ever got, I was telling Tommy, is I shoved a dildo up this guy's ass.
Oh yeah,
But I felt so bad about it. I was like,
no.
And I felt like I was hurting him, and he was like, "Oh, this is so good." I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared." I was such a naive little girl.
He'd done it before.
Yeah, I'm sure he's like, God, that's the worst.
I was such a naive, like, sweet little girl from Louisiana, and I was like, ugh.
You were too young. I'm not. I mean, a lot of like the most amazing performers in the industry are like 18 and 19, but I'm glad I was doing this shit when I was like 32,
Because you had your shit together, right?
Well, it didn't blow my mind to that. Like, I was working at the Chateau, like this dungeon in North Hollywood, like crazy stuff was going down in there.
Is that
crazy
dungeon
sessions.
still there?
No. Still, there's a Sanctuary LAX by the airport.
I shoot a lot at Sanctuary where they rented out the scenes. I never went there.
I don't know about these dungeons.
It's for play.
It's right by LAX, everyone.
Really? Tell me about the dungeons.
Well, it's a pretty big warehouse, and it's
cool.
broken off into all rooms, and the rooms kind of have fetishes and everything.
What kind of stuff can you do? I'm so like naive, Thomas. I'm like, tell me.
You could. I've only been there when
You were shooting.
Yeah, the place was hired, so I never went there like after hours. I was like, let's see what's going on. But I probably should because
They have
I'm sure
parties.
I would have fun.
Should I go
They
there
would
with my
love you
hubby?
there.
Is this like
You should. I mean, it's like the rules.
what is this place? What's going on?
Oh, it's cool. You should work there. I mean, sorry, hubby.
Pick me up at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, and that's one of the few that I know that is like there in a
But I would have to
business.
pay
Reputable.
dues. I'm like scared of all these dues you have to pay.
but
Union
you know,
dues?
you get
What?
spanked.
no, like learn,
You'd
like
get
paying
tickled.
your dues, getting your ropes.
You get spanked. You'd make money. Ropes, yeah, the ropes. You get tied up. You get spanked. Some guy. I remember I went back there and I was really broke, and some dude came in and he wanted to chase me around with a cattle prod.
Oh my gosh, scary.
And that was one of the few sessions I turned down.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
scary.
Those
What
are
if you had an
brutal.
accident?
I played with electricity
Really?
and like the little shockers I could deal. Like I would shock my junk,
Oh my god, you guys are crazy.
but it was more of a joke, like an act.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
while like I'm like face fucking
Yeah.
girl, and I'd be like, you could take it if I could take this.
That's cool.
And she'd be like, because her eyes would be like, get that shit away from my face.
Yeah.
But I've zapped myself with a cattle prod.
Oh, fuck.
And not in my junk, but in my leg. And I remember it kicking me, like, it
Yeah,
knocked me
fuck
on
that.
my ass. Because I was like, this is fucking insane. And Princess Donna, who used to dom a lot for kink, she would zap girls' vaginas. And I felt horrible.
I am so scared
Yeah.
right now.
Like the public disgrace scenes we would do, like
Really intense, heavy
in San
players.
Francisco, LA, we went to Berlin, like we
Yeah.
traveled. It was like a tour.
That's cool.
And you just have
cool.
60, 80, 100 strangers all throwing beers, partying
Yeah,
while you
watch.
dom this girl in front of people. And talk about being in the zone and like it doesn't matter who's screaming or running around you or anything. It's just like, we're doing this. And those scenes were intense. They were
What is
life-changing.
this tour? I'm like completely clueless. Explain this to me and all of the listeners and watchers who are as clueless as I am.
Okay, so kink.com.
I am not the only clueless one, right? Some of you guys don't know what they're talking about either.
So
Educate. It's a sex education podcast.
She needs an
Kink.com is a
education.
company that started in San Francisco, and they excelled and ended up buying the Armory. And it was like half a block at this military
I
building.
know what the Armory
Yeah.
is because I saw Rocco's documentary on Netflix.
Yeah. Okay. There you
See,
go.
I'm not. I know a little bit. Okay.
So they become like they started out in like shooting very amateur, and they blew up to
Yeah.
this gigantic company. And they don't have the Armory anymore, but I still shoot for them. They're still shooting in San Francisco and in LA.
But what is
Vegas,
this tour?
right?
What is this
So
tour?
so the public disgrace was basically talent. They would put out ads saying, come see a sex show. And people would come, and it could be
It was
from
Europe.
20 to 100 people. But you would watch us perform a sex show, and it would be with tying and electricity and bondage and whips and flogging and everything. But for basically 4 hours or 6 or whatever, we're fucking in front of there was 100
for
people
4
at times.
hours? You were fucking
6
for 4
hours.
to 6
well,
hours?
because it would take that long, because we would shoot for 15 to 25, 30 minutes. But then every
Okay,
time
you
we
are
would
a
take
porn
a
star,
break.
Tommy.
Yeah.
You would take whatever if they needed a half-hour break, a 40-minute. So that's why things would take so long.
Okay.
But they were entertaining everybody with like, here's some pizza, here's some beer.
Oh, pizza.
Yeah.
So people wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Pizza.
It's okay. There was pizza.
was there pizza?
I know, but was it good pizza or was it Little Caesars pizza?
Little
No, it was
sleazers.
like neighborhood, whatever. Bought pizza.
It was Europe.
But those scenes were amazing.
Yeah.
And I learned so much doing that. And the first one I ever did was in New York. And I remember like the first time going there, and it was shooting the sex scene. And in between time, I'm just standing there naked with like 60 people in a bar and like just
Eating
like,
pizza.
Yeah, and it was just like, how are those Mets doing? You know? But it was so put people in a room when they know what they're doing, like what they're expecting to see, and they're fine. Like throw people in that situation, they're not expecting it. They will freak the fuck out and run like
It's
there's a
the
fire.
same with comedy, Tommy.
It is the same.
Yeah,
It
if
is
you're
the
like
same.
comedy show 8 p.m. Everyone's like, okay. Otherwise, they're pissed.
I know. I had to do a show once, and the Laker game was on. They turned it off. It was like a riot.
Oh.
It was like a riot.
Yeah.
Like, why are they turning off the Laker game? Because there's a comedy show. We don't want to see fucking comedy. Turn the Laker game on. I'm like, oh God, please don't kill me.
I don't want to do those shows. I don't want to do those shows that are like descending on the venue.
Yeah, it's like going downhill fast.
Yeah.
Fucking Golden Globes. Tell me shut up.
Or the worst is when they
You're
have a
not
comedy
famous.
show. They have a comedy show and they leave the TVs on.
Oh yeah, that's
the worst.
That's ridiculous.
That's
Yeah.
very disrespectful.
Yeah, that
But
happens
Yeah.
too.
a lot.
It happens just because like bookers are desperate for venues and they're like, we'll work it out. And as the talent, you've been in situations as a porn actor like that where you're like, let's not do this, right?
yeah.
This is sketchy.
But that's ridiculous because that's like, you need the mic and everyone's
Yeah.
attention.
You probably should be paying attention. at a
Yeah.
comedy show
Yeah.
To make the comedians funny, but that's a lot of people don't understand that.
That's like, let's just all watch our like phone. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. Fans are weird in all aspects.
They are. There's some weird fans. I like it though. Public is huge. Like he was talking about, like the big public sex scene. I mean, that's huge. I like just like low key public stuff. I like to film like porn outside or like on the weekends.
Yeah, you
when
were talking
there's,
about that in Europe.
right?
Yeah, we shot
Prague
in
and stuff.
Berlin,
Oh, man.
and that was the first
yeah.
time we shot. They
Oh!
rented a bus.
Okay, sorry.
So we was driving through Berlin
Oh,
in a
nice.
bus. With,
Berlin's
like
beautiful.
it was staged extras, but like you could see inside. And it was like, I am fucking someone on a bus,
Yeah.
and I could see everyone outside, and I know they see me. This is weird.
But I'm fucking.
Yeah, but I was like, but it was a crazy experience. And I recently shot not a custom, just a clips for trade, and we went to Griffith Park. And we shot there, and that I was not expecting so much
Naked
traffic
and unafraid.
during
So
yeah.
much traffic.
Yeah, I was
That LA traffic, man.
no, I like people jogging.
I
was
know.
just like, it's like, you should
their
be at work,
dogs.
sir. What are you doing?
You know what? That is a big pet peeve I
That's
have
funny.
with LA.
Stay-at-home dads.
It's like I will see people just lounging about during the day. I'm like, does no one in LA work? Do you just not see people lounging about all day long in LA?
Not in the West Valley. They're shooting porn or they're home.
Yeah, I'm shocked how much. I mean, I grew up in New York, so traffic is no big deal. But when it's like every hour, there's traffic here, and that always blows my mind.
Did you get okay? So before we wrap up, because we have about 15, 20 minutes, and I want to get into this. Did you get any requests or messages or questions
I didn't get those
for this week to answer?
There's a big one that I am going to answer.
Okay, what is
So
it?
I briefed everybody saying that about my son and what I do. So he said I search your name, my real name, and I was like, all right, stop right there. Don't do that again. Like, and I'll talk to you later about it. And he was like, oh, okay. Fast forward a year, I'm talking to their mom, and she brings
Is she in the
up-
business, by the way?
She's the director. She used to perform, but now she's
And
directing
how old is
and
the son?
everything.
Just so I can
11.
Like, okay.
So we were talking, and I bring up like, God, I gotta let him know like what I do eventually, and she's like, he knows.
Oh,
And this is like years of build up and stress and worry that the day he finds out, he's gonna hate me and guilt, and that was my biggest fear. And she was like, he's known over a year, and I was like, what? And I started crying because then all that tension,
release stress.
yeah, and I was like, oh my God.
how did
and,
he find out?
Well, when he Googled my real name, something came up, and she's like, so the mom was like, did you see something? He's like, I saw something, but I just shut it off, and I knew I shouldn't be seeing that. But he knows all this time, and he knew, and he was fine with it, and he didn't look down on me. He didn't
You should look up.
hate me. Yeah, and he just, and to me, I was like, they made it just so like he's amazing.
Have you talked to him about it? Or no, you're still kind of like uncomfortable.
Well, being with the holidays and everything, I'm still gonna like say I know that, but the fact that he knows and he was fine, and he's like, I love Dad. I know he works very hard, and his mom kind of did justice. She's like, your dad's really famous and he does very well at his job, but everything he's doing because he loves you and he does everything he can so you guys have a good life, and he understood that.
That's awesome.
I was beyond relief. I was like. I had to like just.
But his younger brother doesn't.
No, he doesn't know yet because he's 8,
Of
and
course.
like his
Yeah.
brain
He probably
couldn't even.
couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That's really, really cool. And
Yeah.
I hope that he continues to have that feeling for you and that belief, and that none of it changes when he turns into a terrible teenager.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just always gonna be the funniest guy in the room, and he can never be like Dad's lame and blah blah blah. So as long as I keep up that persona, I'm fine.
That's cool.
So
That's
that
funny.
was the big question.
That
you
was
had-
a bit, yeah. And it was so much fear. Like that was honestly after finding that out, like things started becoming more calm and easier because that anxiety was always
And he
there.
probably felt you, because kids are pretty intuitive. Like, why does Dad feel tense around me?
Well, I'm sure because you're going to work and I never talk about it or I never say anything. But like the fact that he knows and he knows that I'm working and providing and doing all that stuff. And at 11, he accepts it and he's like, well, you're my dad. I'll support you. You love me. Like you do everything for us. Like the relief of having that, knowing that then at 11, he feels for me like that. Like none of this like bitter like my dad. Like it's all
Is that
like
what you were worried about?
yeah, that was the biggest fear and regret. I have no regrets about this job except if they didn't
Accept
they
you or
hated
whatever.
Or if
Yeah.
it was messing them up or
Yeah,
conflicting
if
them in
it
some way.
if it was
But that's
yeah.
on you. Like, that's because you're amazing. That's because of the kind of person you are. Whatever line of work you're in, you'd be providing for them, That's because of you. So,
Someone's,
And
might
they're
have a
great.
dad that's like a doctor or a lawyer, but he's like an asshole.
Yeah, and then those kids are like
Yeah.
angry and like fucking being dicks, and it's like,
Yeah.
why's your son's a dick? Your dad's wealthy and your mom's blah blah blah, and but they're like have this hate, and so like all those like putting all those things together, and I was like, he totally accepts it and he supports me and he's fine and there's no regret and he doesn't hate me for it, and I was beyond relief. Like
That's awesome.
I
That's a
can't
good
even.
feeling.
I can't even explain the wave of like stress that like I felt actually leave my body.
Were you more scared about the potential conversation?
The thing that scared me the most was saying it and then him looking at me and saying, I hate you. Like you're disgusting.
You ruined my life,
yeah,
Dad.
You ruined my
I hate
life.
you.
All those horrible things would
Yeah,
crush me.
yeah.
And it would actually make that, if anything would make me leave this career,
It would be that.
it would probably be that. If I knew I was mentally destroying them,
yeah, that's hard. I know.
I would be
know.
like, then what's the use of
Yeah.
this? Like, why should I? That's selfish to me. Like,
Yeah.
I understand I got to pay bills. I'll find another fucking way. But knowing now that he knows and he's totally fine with it was probably like the biggest gift I ever could have got.
His mom's like, he knows.
Yeah, she was all like nonchalant.
She's like, really?
He's
You're
known for
that
like
clueless?
a year. You don't know. I know. Everyone else knows. It's like, what the fuck?
She's like, we know. Everyone knows.
It made, because obviously we got divorced because we got along great, but she really talked, like she told me what she said and she really talked me up, and it was like, your dad's a really good guy and well respected, and he's like world famous. And I was like, you
That's
told
awesome.
him all
That's
that? I
awesome
was like,
too.
fuck yeah.
Because, there's
cool.
exes that would be like, he's a scumbag, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, like there's always within divorce, there's this bitterness, and like everyone's always trying to outdo or talk down the other one, and it's like it's not like that.
Yeah.
Like, and they're old enough and they see a lot of the differences, and like I'm not perfect, their mom's not perfect, and like we talk about it. And that, like the kid, the fact we could,
co-parenting.
the fact we could do that, and we're not together, is amazing. Because
Yeah.
you don't hear a lot of those stories.
You like never hear those stories.
Ever.
You hear like these crazy ex stories with like parents using the kids against each other, and no.
That's and that's where I was just like looking at the bigger picture. I was just like, this is amazing. Like they are well grounded. They know, they accept it. They're not hateful or anything. They know why they have what they have and why we get to go to Disneyland and all this other stuff. And so, and
Your son's like, fuck those whores, Dad. I want to go to Disney.
Yeah.
You do it. You have sex with that 67-year-old.
go make that money,
yeah,
Dad.
Make that money, Dad.
I want a PS5.
Do that mom video too. Don't be picky. Don't be judgy, Dad. I'm not judgy. Don't you judge.
They pay triple for anal, Dad. Get some poppers. It'll be fine. What?
Your son starts
my
like doing
God.
accounting.
Growing up in the 80s,
Cheers.
we did fucking poppers all the time. I took them to my high school and to the teen disco in Florida in the 80s. I was doing, you just walked into a porn store. I was always tall,
Okay,
you know?
okay. Sorry to be again. The
Poppers.
computer night. What are poppers?
Amyl
VHS
nitrate,
cleaner.
Rush, yeah.
walked
VHS
in-
cleaner.
Wait, what?
It's basically they sell it, and this is amazing. I walked into a porn store and I was like, I gotta get poppers. I gotta see what the whole thing is about.
Is
And
it
I
like
was
huffing?
Huffing's in a bag, but poppers. So basically, it's
I love
sold.
the improv. It's in a bag.
It's basically sold as VHS cleaner.
Okay.
Because it's to clean
Yeah.
the tapes on your
Okay.
VHS.
Again, improv.
But if you it gives you like a fucking intense like 30-second minute
Red
rush.
face. It's not good for you. It is bad.
As,
Oh, it's not?
I
as
do
good
that
as
a lot.
it feels,
Yeah.
as good as it feels, and it opens up everything and makes you very relaxed. It is not good for you.
A lot of gay guys use it like for anal, you know, for like climactic
that
moments.
was the
and
joke. Okay, a little bit over my innocent head.
It was called Rush in
Yeah.
the 80s too. Yeah.
It's still called Rush.
Oh, cool.
I don't know. It's
The
last
more
time you
things
bought it.
change, the more they stay the same.
Now it's like extra Rush.
Oh, shit.
Last episode, we talked about this a little bit, but we didn't get into it. Was I asked you about your puppet porn, and then for some reason, I completely blanked that I did a parody of a puppet porn. And then half an hour after the episode, my husband reminded me of it, and I was like, why did I not remember that? And then I sent you a picture of it.
So you did, and I watched what you sent, and I had a moment of like, oh no, I might see your boobs. No, but I was like, whoa.
I had sex with a fake puppet, and I totally forgot about it. How
I want to see this.
I'll send you a link,
Yeah.
and I'll post a link on our YouTube or website or wherever this gets posted. How can you, as a woman, forget that you had sex with a puppet?
If it was more than once, I could see that as an excuse. But
Totally forgot about it.
That time
My hubby had to remind me. He's like, "Why didn't you talk about Pilo's house?" I was like, "Oh my
Pilo's
god, I
house.
totally had sex with a puppet in the 2000s, and I forgot about it."
you're like, I forgot. You're like, well, I didn't.
He's keeping score, one puppet at a time, one puppet fuck at a time. That's coming up in divorce court, believe me.
Did you watch it?
I did.
It was
And
like-
again when I saw her like.
So you know how I feel when I saw your dick.
Yeah, I got all girly, or I was like, oh my god, no way, no way! I was screaming. I was like, why am I yelling right now?
Exactly. It's weird when you don't know someone like that. It's like when I see a stand-up comedian at the grocery store. and not at a comedy club. It's weird. I'm all, wait, why are they at the grocery store? I know comedians are normal people that go to the grocery store.
No, they're not normal people. They're usually too depressed to grocery shop. I don't know when.
That they go to the grocery store, but when it's like seeing someone out of their element. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
And I only know Tommy as Tommy and not Tommy's dick. So that it freaked me out. And you were freaked out too.
So we're even.
We're evenly freaked out.
I guess.
Okay.
I've seen.
Yes, I had sex with a puppet, Sally, for a sketch. For a pilot.
That sounds good. A pilot. I had sex with a pilot for a puppet. Life is weird. I have seen you both naked. I've had sex with neither of you, open to, let's do this.
Right, well, on our next show.
Create a Patreon. Send us money. We're whores. We just care about money. All right.
Such a cutie.
All right. We got a couple minutes.
Can I hold? Such a cute. How old is she?
She's crazy.
So what are you doing now?
Okay, now.
She's doing MILF stuff.
Is that
Gilf. Gilf. I mean,
You're not a gilf.
tell them that,
Is that what your agent sent you out for gilf stuff?
I never got an agent because I'm not good at butt stuff. Also, this one
Same.
agent.
I feel like no one is going to be able to actually hear the podcast because we cackle with laughter so much over each other.
It's funny. I'm trying to pet this dog. Well, comedy is the main love of my life, but I love having like a side hustle that I also like a lot. Like I like doing freaky shit. I'm on OnlyFans. I have my own site. I do escorting. Like I do all those things to,
God bless
like
you.
make my right. Yeah, it gets like the escorting can be tough sometimes.
So is it
can
tough
be fun
because
too.
certain clients are difficult?
I attract cheap men. I'm old.
$100? Well, I got this Denny coupon for.
One of my first experiences, like sticking my toe in the adult industry before I was even working at the fetish dungeon, was I was trying to do phone sex. And my first client, it's this dude, and he was like this roughneck, and he was, I want you to meet me at this Denny's. And I'm like, this is supposed to be a fantasy. Like, what? Why are you making it
You
so
just
real?
skipped everything. Like
Yeah,
I had a
you're
whole
like-
spiel.
you're like,
Can I
Ruth
do
Chris
my notes?
Steakhouse?
Yeah.
Sizzler at least? Denny's. It's going to be a Denny's.
Because I work there.
You're like Spago in Beverly Hills. Can we make it? It's a fantasy. High end.
Yeah. No,
You don't actually have to pay.
he was keeping it real.
It's a Denny in the back of a Denny's dumpster.
Yeah.
I was
And
just
it
going to be honest.
far.
I don't have money.
What's your like creepiest, weirdest experience where you're like, I need to get out of here?
For escorting or a session or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I've done some where it's like an out call and you go to the house and there's nowhere to park and it's kind of dark outside and the person's not answering the phone and then you just kind of get the fuck out of there. You just don't feel right. Like there is that. But I've also had some really
So parking
weird.
is your biggest
Yeah,
nightmare.
Fuck, man.
That is so LA.
So bad.
What was
horror.
What was your worst escort? I couldn't find parking. It was.
I had to get out of
There
there.
was traffic.
It was,
Basically what I just said. Isn't it? I mean, what the fuck? God, you guys are funny.
My worst was the parking. It's like, okay.
tell me about the worst John. I never met him because there was no parking.
Parking
And
in the
he's
rear.
out the window like, ha ha ha, she won't find parking.
That was what I think happened. This horrible experience.
He's like, I live in West LA. I know she'll never find me.
I own all those cars.
How'd you know it was West LA?
That's where there's no parking. Okay, sorry. It
was
We're cutting
horrible.
you off. Okay, so worst is good.
Well, that was it.
Second worst. That's
I mean-
all parking.
It's pretty fun. It just gets to be like too high maintenance and your phone blowing up and too many dead end leads. But I've had some really freaky sessions, like fetish sessions at the
So
dungeon.
freakiest session.
This dude
What are
came
people
in.
into that is just, I mean, we're not shaming them. We're just curious.
Yeah,
We're just
I mean,
learning.
I'm sure this guy's dead now. So
Because he was 90.
No, just because he was weird.
Okay.
He was like my age, but weird.
You're not gonna last, buddy. You keep doing that.
What was he doing? No, I wouldn't know. What was he doing?
Well, the thing he was doing, he was a little older than me. Okay, so I was 30, he's probably like 45. And he was coming into the session and he was making me reenact scenes from The Dirty Dozen. It's a war movie from the 60s and 70s.
Did he have a script for you at least? Or he's like,
you have
He
to
would
memorize his
explain, he would go, you are Ernest Borgnine and you are stealing a small Jeep.
He had to work on that movie to fucking have that fetish. That's amazing.
It was really deep.
He had to do lighting. He's like, man, this is the best job.
No, he was doing lighting and he's like, this script could be better. I could redo this. I'm going to hire a beautiful MILF one day and make her do these scenes over again.
These are rehearsals. So he makes you reenact
scenes with water guns and shooting each other and then like dying with candles surrounding you. There was a lot of like really freaky role play.
It was very elaborate.
So he burned the house down.
Very detailed, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't my house, yeah. I did used to see clients out of my home, but I have so many pets. I have 9 pets.
She's
I
a
have
crazy
5
pet
cats
lady.
and 4 dogs. Yeah,
Crazy pet lady.
One of the reasons I got into fetish, Tommy, honestly, was I got into rescue, and it was expensive, and I wasn't making any money in comedy, and I needed to make money like fast.
You're selling your ass to save the ass of pets. Mm-hmm. That is the sweetest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Step up, people.
I always say that I'm a crazy dog lady and that I love my pets more than anything. I think, Sally, you've beat me.
I would say she
I
beat
think
everyone.
I have beaten you before. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So you started doing it to help pets.
Yeah, I had bills. I had vet bills.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's
You're
like
like
literally
a
the
Saint
sweetest.
Francis of Assisi. This is amazing.
She is Saint Francis. Saint Francis, did you ever have to reenact scenes from a movie and do sex to get your martyrdom? I don't think so.
I need to be canonized now. And I'm just getting gilfed.
That is actually the sweetest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, it's true.
The only way it would be sweeter is if you were helping rescued pets and orphans.
I don't like kids.
Or delivering them.
I don't like kids. His kid sounds great, but delivering. I mean, I probably could.
I'm saying in addition to what you're doing, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking Mother Teresa doesn't even
Good
have
people.
fucking shit
I
on
don't
you.
think Mother Teresa did stuff like that.
She didn't do
Was she
anal-
looking for
like-
parking in West? Was she looking for
She was a
parking in
gilf,
West
though.
Hollywood?
No, she
Yeah.
did not deal with that parking drama. The horror.
If anybody
start
knows
somewhere.
if Mother Teresa had problems parking for sex, please let us know. For rescuing people. 'Cause I'm
rescue
pretty sure she did it.
All kinds of rescue going on in the
then,
West Valley.
And the hate mail comes in.
So a lot of your clients. So I'm curious
Bring it.
about a lot of your clients. Are most of your clients single guys? Is it a total gamut, like total random? Is it ever married guys? Do you know? Do you care?
Yeah, I don't know, and I mean I do know, and I don't care. I think that's cool, and their wives like kind of bored of fucking them, or their wives are stressed out. I mean, like how long does passion last? Even with like the hottest couples,
Yeah.
I mean, sorry guys, but there's that. But one thing that I get, I shouldn't have said cheap. It's like I think I look like everyone's mom. I don't really think I've graduated grandma looks yet. So dudes who are like mid-20s and they have no money, they're hitting me up for a lot of mommy role play and a lot on OnlyFans, but they don't really have that much money. Like I appreciate that they tip and stuff like that, but that's what makes it tough
Guys,
sometimes.
tip
My
Sally
demographic.
Moore, please.
I'm constantly like, if you enjoy what I do, give me a tip.
Yeah.
Because I need to eat.
It's such
This
good
shit
energy.
ain't for free.
Sometimes though, it's like, so I'm not on Patreon, but sometimes I think the message does get out there. It just takes a while. Like I always say after all my podcasts, please donate. And I rarely get donations, but then I had a fan who donated quite a lot of money, and he said, "Oh, I've been listening for years, and I just finally thought I should." And you
It's
told
the best feeling.
And then I had told him because I talked about cryptocurrency on one of my podcasts, and he had invested in it because of my podcast and made a bunch of money. So then he was like, "I feel like you deserve it." I'm like, "Thank you."
Yeah.
You made me a fucking millionaire. Here you go.
That's cool.
And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, so
That's really cool.
So I think
Yeah,
I
that's
think
amazing.
That, everyone should support if you enjoy something and you're getting value from the content. But even just like one or two really generous people.
And you
It's awesome.
Yeah, and then you can have like a kind of a special relationship. Like that's one of the shifts in the adult industry is that these like things that, you know, like we're producing our own stuff now, and it's stuff that really works for you. Like the fan is having direct contact with the talent, and they're
they're saying this is what I like.
That's
like
why
mine,
I love OnlyFans. Like
I know, and Avian Stars, and yeah, it's cool.
I got to get on that one. I haven't.
Oh, I hope you do. God, I mean, because I think they really need you to. Like, they need like the big stars on there, not just the independent gilfs.
No, but it is. I mean, and that's what's like separates, I think, and makes kind of porn performers more special than like mainstream people. Because like we will have a convention and you can talk to us.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like we're approachable. Like we're human, and again, like doing what we do, like we're putting everything out there. So it's like there's not this. Like you're seeing us for who we are.
We do our own stunts.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah.
I want to. Okay, so speaking of putting everything out there, I feel like as a comedian you do too because you're talking about stuff. I want to know, Sally, you're putting everything out there. So
All the
you
time.
literally are putting out your mind, your soul, your spirit, and your physical body because you're a comedian and a porn actor. Like I can't even
Don't forget
imagine.
prostitute.
And a prostitute, escort,
Dogs, animals.
animal sanctuary saver. It's like you're literally. But like, do you just think not? Do you constantly feel vulnerable, or don't feel vulnerable at all?
I think the sort of chaos that I thrive on was sort of what I got used to. Maybe,
Because like even
growing
me, like
up.
I have some material about my brother being gay, and it took me years to talk about it because it was such a dark secret in my family. Even though I accept him and love him, but it was a really big deal.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I can't talk about this. And then of course now I do it in my act, and no one fucking cares if my brother's gay. No one cares if anyone's gay these days. But just for me personally, it was like so hard to like talk about. I was like,
Coming
"What?"
out is still hard on a personal level in families and
Yeah,
stuff.
so I was like, oh my God, I'm talking about my brother being gay. Oh my God, you know? And so to put that out there, and Sally, I toured with her, we did a TV pilot together, puts everything out there and talks about everything. And then she's like physically putting everything out there. Like, I can't even imagine.
It can get draining. I could use a B12 shot in the ass or something, you know? No, it can be like, I'm in Hustler next month, but I was profiled as a comedian. But the reason I got profiled as a comedian in there was also because I'm starting to do some jokes about, and it's like weird when you first, I mean, I've been doing comedy. I've been doing it for 15 years, and then I'm starting to do jokes about doing porn and about escorting.
So her act is very sexy, but she doesn't talk about that aspect.
Right.
So her act is sexy, but she's not like, hey, I do this.
Yeah. You can tell it's dark, and you can tell it's fucked up, and it's from a weird place. But I never come out and say I do porn. But the last couple of years, I have been. And then I just did an hour. That's my hour show. We're filming it as a special. Yeah, it's really fun. It's the next time I'm doing it is the night of AVNs, and I know you guys will probably be in Vegas.
In Vegas?
I'm going to be doing it here it's the 25th. Yeah.
We might be in Vegas. I'm not sure if I will. Tommy will be, for sure.
Yes, I will be out there
Promoting.
Yay.
22
Oh,
to
cool.
the 26th.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're going to be at XBiz next
Yes.
week. And
Are you going to
cool.
that?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Maybe
That's
you
gonna be fun.
guys can like help each other get work.
No, maybe he can help me. I can't help him. He's a fucking porn star, man. You know? I have a lot of jokes about how like I'm struggling in porn, like, and people like that because I'm a self-deprecating comic. So it's like, and guess what? Porn turned out to be, you know, rough too. But I
Who would have fucking thought?
Yeah.
Do you think that the industry is youth obsessed? Like, do you feel that as a man, and do you feel that what Sally is saying, like,
Yeah.
it is?
I would say.
Even though people have sexual preferences of all
I mean,
spectrums.
even I have gone through the phase of like, we can't use you in these college videos anymore because you don't look like
What
a
about
fucking
professor?
teenager.
What about
well,
the
I could be a
professor?
professor. I could be a dad.
What
I
about
could
the
be a
janitor at the
stepdad.
dorm?
I could be anybody not
you
in
guys
school.
Are not, you guys are not creative enough, okay? You need to hire me as a porn writer, and I will write roles for Tommy and Sally that are very interesting and fun.
I think you should write something that we both do together.
Let's do it
For
on this
OnlyFans.
pod. Yeah, that would be great.
and the podcast devolved.
Well, that's what I like about.
Get the cow prodder!
Yeah.
Get the Crisco.
Oh, poppers? I acted naive, but we have some
Poppers.
right here in the cabinet.
I bet you.
Oh, I fucked a puppet once. You want to see?
I would love to see you
Guys,
do poppers.
we have to wrap up this
I'm gonna get her some
insane
poppers.
podcast. Sally, where are you? How can people find you?
Sally Mullins 1 on Twitter, Sally Mullins 818 on Instagram, and the porn is Jamie Foster, Ms. Jamie Foster on Twitter, or Jamie Foster Strips, my site.
And what happened to Claire Fonda? She died?
Well, Claire, I sold the rights to those. I sold the videos. I sold the company, but I still perform as Claire. Yeah, she's great.
Okay.
She gets spanked, and she spanks.
And Tommy, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Tommy Pestle or on Instagram at official_pistol_page or on YouTube at Tommy Pistol, or you can find me on my OnlyFans /Tommy Pistol, and on there you can see me doing a lot of solos and stuff you would never see anywhere else because I want that money and I don't want to give it to
Good.
anyone else.
That's a good attitude.
And
Thank
you
you.
guys can see me and my doggies on Twitter at Funny Rosie and on Instagram at Out of the Box Rosie. I also have another podcast called Out of the Box Podcast with Rosie Tran. Check it out. I interview really cool out of the box thinkers and crazy other interesting people. Guys, this has been Dirty Change Podcast with Rosie and Tommy. We are a sex education and weird ranting tangent podcast.
Yeah, and we laugh a lot.
All right. Till next time. Bye, guys.
Funny.